I'm Tara.
And I'm Ashley.
Each week, two movies battle it out in a bracket-style competition to find the ultimate romantic comedy.
This is The Trope Report.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome back.
This week, we have two exciting movies to talk about. Always Be My Maybe and Failure to Launch.
Always Be My Maybe is coming in at a number 3 seed with 89%.
And Failure to Launch is a 14 seed with a 23%.
We also have a special guest this week.
My brother, Brian. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So, we brought you in for this episode because we know you love Failure to Launch. But I know that you also haven't seen Always Be My Maybe before. So, before we get into the nitty-gritty, initial thoughts? Is it still living up to what you expected?
It was obviously just as incredible as the first time I laid my eyes upon them film. But I will say, Always Be My Maybe was compelling. I will say.
It surprised me too.
Yeah.
Right off the bat. I mean, you know I love Failure to Launch as well. But I think I saw Always Be My Maybe one time before this when it first came out. I don't know, guys. I mean, I was surprised at how good this was. Ash?
Yeah, I mean, this was my first time watching Always Be My Maybe. I think it's going to be a tough one this week.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
I agree.
Do you want to start us off with Failure to Launch?
Yeah. Here's the synopsis. So, Trip, Matthew McConaughey, is 35 years old and living at home with his parents. So they decide to hire Paula, who is professional interventionist. She makes men fall in love with her and grow as individuals so they can become independent. Everything is going smoothly until Paula actually starts to fall in love with Trip. Things get even messier when Trip finds out Paula has been hired by his parents. Will love persevere? Will they end up together? So, like I said, I love this movie. Bri, I know you love this movie. Ash, have you seen this before?
I mean, this was also a classic in my house. We watched this a lot growing up.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I guess let's just get into it. Let's get into the plot of this. So, basically, like I said, we're starting off and we see Trip. I mean, how could you not love Matthew McConaughey? He is, like,
amazing.
Top tier with romantic comedies, but even outside of romantic comedies, he's fantastic. So we see him, he's living at home. We see his family dynamic. They set the scene well. His mom is doing everything for him, and his dad basically, like, the mom won't do anything for him. So it's just...
This was my first dislike of the movie, was that how, like, he has his mom doing his laundry. Like, that's an ick. That's an ick for sure. He's wearing long cargo shorts, another ick.
Whoa,
that was my first.
whoa, and that's where I'll stop
Dislike.
you. I don't think you're up to date with fashion, maybe. Maybe that's sort of the problem you have here, because let me just say that cargo shorts.
I mean, cargos, they're back.
And long ones.
Long,
you should see the ones I
cargo
got.
shorts.
They are back.
God.
I do have to admit.
I never thought I'd say, like, something looked bad on Matthew McConaughey, but those, I was just like, what is he wearing?
I never thought
He's
that
at the
he looked
boat
bad
dock.
in
He's
this.
at the boat dock. He's at the boat dock. He was to put
wear
his boat.
orange seam shorts, some boat shoes.
Ash
He
likes a
could've
guy
done better.
in little shorts, I guess. I mean, who knew?
Where's he gonna put
For
the
sure.
boat wax and the boat juice and the
I don't
That's
know, a
true.
satchel?
all the?
I'd say that's
You want him
true,
to wear
like,
a
you know
satchel?
about
You want him to wear a satchel instead.
I don't
Okay,
know.
I do have to also throw it back to... Okay, yes, I think him, 35, living at home, you know, they set the scene well that it's crazy, but when I go home, my mom does do my laundry. So I can't completely
Yeah, but you're not still
fault him.
living at home. She's, like,
Yeah.
making him pancakes every morning.
Yes,
like,
that
he
is
has
too
no-
far. I can't fault for the laundry, though, because I'd just be a liar. Like, when I go home.
Okay, but his parents are Terry Bradshaw and Kathy Bates. Big, like... I
No,
love
that's a
those
big,
actors.
like... Well, wait.
It was an amazing cast all around.
That's what I was going to say. Fantastic cast. Like, everyone, heavy hitters. I don't know how they got all these people. Can I just say, here we go. Sarah Jessica Parker, Matthew McConaughey, Bradley Cooper.
Riley from National Treasure.
Yes. Yep. Yes. All I wrote was Declaration of Independence, but yes. I think his name is Justin Bartha. Terry Bradshaw, Kathy Bates. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Zooey Deschanel.
Mm-hmm.
That was...
She has a sister.
That was surprising.
Who is Dr. Bones. And that's all I know about
Emily
her.
Deschanel.
That's all I know about her.
What?
You haven't seen New Girl?
Dr. Bones?
Dr. Bones. Dr. Bones.
I had no idea.
Yep.
Temperance Brennan. Yeah, I've been watching Bones.
Oh, yes, I do know what you're talking about. Yes!
With the guy from...
I didn't know that they were
Buffy.
sisters. Wow. Okay.
I'm just going to be derailing you constantly with random things.
Good.
Oh, also, the little boy, Tyrell Jackson Williams.
Don't even start with me with the little boy, because I have a note here. Okay. If we circle back to the wedding date versus say anything episode, you were trying to sell off to me that kid was so cute and so necessary for that movie.
And he was,
this kid is one of the best characters in this movie. He is so adorable. He blows the kid insane thing out of the water.
Brother of Tyler James Williams. Yes, he is a Disney child.
What was he in?
I don't know, stuff. Well, his brother was Everybody Hates Chris. And then he started to be in movies and stuff, yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, this kid was so adorable.
He was adorable. That brought me back around to Matthew McConaughey. And also, Matthew McConaughey's character just seems like the most fun guy. I want to be around him all the time. He's like rock climbing, he's dirt biking, he's paintballing, he's sailing, he's surfing. He just lives the best life ever.
See, I felt like it was too much for me. Now, that's just me. All that outdoor activity. I mean, I guess it's some people, that might float their boat. But it's like, that's setting the plot, though, of like, this guy doesn't do anything. You know, this is all he does. He doesn't have any real responsibilities. So that's why the parents are like, we need to get him out of the house. We need to hire this Sarah Jessica Parker, Paula, to come in, and she basically acts as if they're like a meet cute type of a thing that they meet. And
oh my gosh. Can we talk about the meet cute?
Yes, of course.
Brilliant execution.
In the furniture
Matthew
store.
McConaughey is always so suave, I feel like so natural. I feel like this in a lot of his movies, and he sells it for me, and I thought that was a great little meet cute, and he buys it. You know, he's like, oh, look at me, I picked up this girl, when in reality she's coming in there, you know, and the parents are there too, which I loved. The parents see it happen.
He's like, hey, I don't know his name in it. Hey, Matt.
Oh, Terry Bradshaw.
Check that one out.
Yeah, check her out. Yeah.
She claims that she just goes to the furniture store every day to, like, take a nap. And also, I wrote down, like, is it that easy? He goes over and starts talking to her, and she's just like, yeah, we're not normally so, like, forward on a first date. And he's just like, oh. He just accepts that that's their first date. The first time after meeting.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's such good little banter that it's so smooth you love it. You wish you were like that.
So smooth you love it. Quote that.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, he decides, you know, they're deciding to go on a real date, basically. So he takes her on a yacht that isn't his. So again, just showing like this guy, if I went on a date and it was a random person's yacht and he brings me on this and then he starts throwing the food off the side, I mean, but you know what? She's in it. Obviously, she's getting paid. So...
I mean, that was also a funny line from her. He's like throwing out the food that he like made them for the picnic, and she's like, I swear, I'm not one of those girls that doesn't eat. Like, I actually want to eat this.
Sarah Jessica totally. I mean, come on, she's stick thin. She probably is not eating. That's crazy. But anyway, so hold on. I'm trying to see where my next thing is. So basically, the beginning of the movie, they do just keep going like back-to-back dates, which I guess was fun, but I also felt like not a whole ton was happening.
Yeah.
But I guess they needed to just move it forward, showing like they're going on multiple. You know, they went to the sushi restaurant, they went to the yacht, they obviously met at the furniture store. You know, so it was a little bit of kind of like, okay, you know, nothing major happening, but of course they're suave. It's fun to watch two beautiful people go on a date.
I thought they broke up that well with the action adventure scenes that he's always going on. Like it would be like it would be
true.
those calmer scenes, and then it would cut to those actions with the boys,
Yeah.
decompressing what's happening, and it's kind of being like him.
Didn't you love their relationship? The guys' relationship?
Yeah.
The friends, yeah.
Yeah, I loved the group of them. I thought they were so funny. I love how they work together, giving each other advice constantly. I mean, I thought it was so fun.
Yep.
They all live at home.
Yes, true. So, that brings us to the emotional crisis state with the dog.
Yeah, I was like, does that work?
What?
This whole time, I'm like, is her plan, like, would that work in real life? The second date being, she calls him and she's like, my dog is dying, can you come with me to the hospital?
Yeah, and he's immediately, like, swooning over her, like, oh, she's so upset, and, like, being there for her. Like, I don't know if that would work.
That's a second date you're going on with someone.
It's a little,
you
like...
bawling your eyes out over... Yeah.
I mean, if you got the chemistry in the first one, the guy's gonna want to be there to comfort her. I mean, he'll like that, and then they get the physical touch and stuff.
Well, that's true, because also remember, he's really just trying to sleep with her. That's all he's ever done, is just try and sleep with girls. So in his head, he's like, this is the perfect way to swoop in, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
She's offering the perfect opportunity for him.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then I don't remember exactly what date it was, but you know, he was so surprised when I think it was like sushi, and then she just kisses him goodnight and goes in, and he was like, oh, what the heck, this has never happened to me before. Like, they always sleep with me on the first date.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, good point.
And he tries to make her feel better by taking her to paintball, which I think that's actually a fun idea.
I thought that was cute, but...
Yeah, that was cute.
Okay. Bro, I know you have paintballed. I have never paintballed. I'm terrified of this. Ash?
Have you ever paintballed before? No.
Never?
I shot a BB gun.
Would you ever paintball?
Oh, absolutely. I've tried to get my friends to go, but you know all my friends are cheap.
Is it that expensive?
I mean, her friends don't want to pay for anything.
Beyond
cheap,
yeah.
Yeah, it's next level cheap. So I guess that makes sense. I don't know. I think I'm just too much of a baby that, like, you are going out there and you're deciding, like, I want to be shot out with these little paint gun pellets that just hurt so badly.
It's exciting.
The look of it,
Do you
it
like
looks
laser
fun
tag?
though. Love laser tag.
When was the last time you laser tagged?
I don't know. Remember the last time it was? But come on, how could you not?
What the hell?
How could you not love laser tag though?
Yeah.
Like, that's just fun, and you're not getting injured. So hello, that's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was fun, and of course, she's incredible, right? Well, she's hiding for most of it.
Yeah, but she does all of it, and then the very end, she shoots someone and is like the savior.
True, but so like she comes out on top basically, and of course the guys, his friends, then love
wins
her.
Over, all the friends.
Wins over. Everything's happening perfectly, basically. It's just again, this is what I love with a romantic comedy. It's just so fun, easy breezy, suave. Love it. So
I would describe the movie as a soothing summertime feel, quiet, dreamy nights, breezy, carefree days.
100%.
I wrote a little note here. You know, you're not the only one.
That is so cute that you wrote a note.
I got some stuff here, you know, like Rob Corddry cameo at the gun store.
Oh,
it was
yes.
dynamite. That was hilarious.
That's true.
To Kill a Mockingbird. He knew the Sixth Amendment.
Was
well,
very
actually,
funny in this
yes,
movie.
because all of these side little stories. So we have like the main Matthew McConaughey and Sarah Jessica, but then we also have the parents. You see their relationship.
Yep.
You have Zoe Deschanel and Declaration of Independence,
Yep.
which I love them together.
Yep.
Like you have all these. Justin, I think. We have all these side little stories that I think really rounds out the movie, and I don't know. Yeah. I love it.
So Justin starts hitting on Zoe at the paintball.
Yeah.
He's in love with her instantly.
He's in love with her.
He sees her across the paintball park.
Do they sell beer here? No.
Yeah.
Yo! They're so good. They're so good together. And I love... Okay, also, can I just say, I started this movie just by myself in the living room, and I'm watching it, right? And, of course, JC walks by, for the viewers, my fiance. So he walks by, he sees that it's playing, and he usually would pass right by. He has no interest in this stuff, okay? But he actually sat down for this one and watched the whole thing with me, was dying laughing, and we finished the movie, and he was like, that's one of the best romantic... I mean, he was raving about this because he's loving the comedy.
Well, I have a question.
Yes?
When did he sit down? Who was on the screen when he sat down?
Oh, yeah. Are you getting to the point of... Zooey Deschanel?
He loves Zooey Deschanel.
This explains it. Oh, my goodness.
That's true. But, okay, this is not like her New Girl character. I think this just instills that he loves her in any role, basically.
Yeah, she's the opposite of her New Girl character, if anything.
Yeah.
So he's very superficial.
Cold-hearted.
Very superficial.
Yes. He's
so shallow. He must be... That's probably why he picked you.
So he thought it was so funny. He loved it. He was like, you guys need to make a new category just about side characters. This was top notch. This was the best side characters ever.
Wait, so he was raving about Zooey Deschanel.
Yes. 100%.
We should do a category, Zooey Deschanel meter. How?
Deschanel month.
Anyway, I had to throw that in there. All I'm saying is, as for the romantic comedies, he doesn't really sit around for much, and he sat around for this one. So, props for failure to launch with that.
Yeah.
Props to Zooey Deschanel for that.
Props to Zoe, basically. She stole the show. But honestly, really though, her and Justin, like they did kind of steal their combo was like dynamite. Really.
It was just honestly, the most ridiculous romance.
What was your thoughts on Bradley Cooper? Because I usually love him, and he was fine. He was regular.
I mean, I did say, like, I think he should star in every romantic comedy.
Bradley
why doesn't
Cooper?
He do more romantic comedies? I thought he was so cute and funny. I don't remember a single thing he said, but,
Well, that's what I'm saying. I walked away and I totally was more in love with Justin than Bradley, and I usually love Bradley.
Yeah, I was also kind of like, why are they treating Justin like he's, like, ugly? Like, he's just as cute as them.
100%.
I thought.
He's got baby blues. Handsome guy.
Yep, he's got those baby blues.
Yep.
I love the parents too. I thought they were just so cute. I love their dynamic. They're so funny too.
What a solid butt on a dad.
Yes, when he's walking around naked.
Too much old man butt. It was too long. Like,
I didn't think it was an ugly.
But it was like, it felt like 15 minutes of just his butt.
I didn't feel like he had an ugly old man butt.
That really says a lot about the state of the union
as a person.
Yeah. Can't even look at an old guy's butt these days without people complaining.
It was too much. It was too much.
I liked how he could finally enjoy himself and be free. But we're jumping ahead because that's when Matthew McConaughey finally moves out of the house. But before that, after paintball, they go for another date where they go sailing and then they go get crabs. And as they're eating, she basically, they have this nice moment and they kiss over the crabs and everything. And so they both walk away from the date and you think like, oh, that was fantastic. But they both have completely different opinions. So Sarah Jessica is like, basically, I'm in love with him. Like, he's actually a really nice guy. You see her totally falling for him. But Matthew walks away and he's like, I need to break up with her, is what he says to his friends.
He's like commitment issues.
He needs to back out. So now, after this date, and he thinks, I need to break up with her now. So
at the crab date. little quote I'd like to read.
Oh,
if you're not ready, you'll end up a lonely guy with a big boat payment. To which she replies, "Who says you have to be lonely?"
That's because she is so in love with him. I liked that scene too.
Yeah.
Because you really see him. He's like, yeah, maybe I don't have to be lonely, and she's like, maybe I'm obsessed with you.
Yeah, I did a good nod after that.
You did.
I held up a fist.
So, remind me, they go to the baseball game? No.
Is there even baseball in this movie?
Oh, no, wait, stop. They do go to baseball, but I know what happens next. He wants to ruin the relationship, so he's bringing her home for dinner.
Oh, baby.
His baby. He's like, I'm gonna do what I always do, which is bring these girls home. They see that I'm 35 years old living at my parents' house, and they're gonna run away. But of course, no. She knows that he's living with the parents. Yeah. She's met the parents. She knows the parents, and she has to pretend as if nothing's wrong. Which
tension.
I loved.
Yeah.
The tension when she meets his parents. Energy flying around the room. Trip pulls back. She pushes harder. The parents are bewildered. I mean, it's one of those scenes where you're just grabbing onto your seat, holding on for dear life.
You're giddy. You are giddy because you're just like...
I get giddy.
Yes, I got giddy. So the dad leaves because he's like, I can't even be in here. Trip is like, I gotta follow him because why is this girl not freaking out that I'm living with my parents? And then Paula and Kathy Bates talk, and the mom basically says, which was even good too, because Paula still thinks like, don't worry, I got your son. He's in love with me. And Paula's like, I gotta tell you, he's breaking up with you. This is how he breaks up.
This is how he does it.
I loved that whole scene. That was so good.
Yeah.
So basically, she's like, crap. Now I gotta think of something else to do to really win him over. So what does she do? To amp up the game, she sleeps with him. So...
Is that night?
Which is against her rule.
Yes, it's against her rules. It's that night after family dinner. Because remember, the next morning...
Oh, he still doesn't know, right?
She wakes up and tries to sneak out.
No, he doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
Oh, yeah, he still doesn't know at this point.
Yeah.
So she sneaks out and sees the parents. And, yeah, big no-no for her work, but she's obsessed. So, basically... she's still running this side hustle of having clients to try and, date these guys, make them independent. So she was on a date with some guy that's obsessed with Star Wars or something. That whole scene was so crazy. And she's basically telling him that he's like Han Solo or something, or Luke Skywalker. I don't know.
Luke in the cave, yeah.
Yeah.
She touches his hands and he essentially has to go to the bathroom after that.
Yes. So good. So when he's in the bathroom, National Treasure Justin
we gotta
sees...
What's his last name? I mean, we gotta put some respect on Justin's
hold on.
name.
Yeah.
Justin Bartha.
Bartha?
Justin Bartha.
I wonder where that comes from.
Okay.
Where does he hail from?
I don't know.
I'll look that up. You keep talking, I'll look that up.
So Justin Bartha sees her on this date with this guy, and he's like, what the heck are you doing? You're supposed to be dating my best friend. She basically explains everything to him, what she does for a job, all this stuff. So he then goes and tells Bradley, right? Because Bradley's...
First he, blackmails
Oh,
her.
yes.
He's
so
I'll
good.
keep your secret if you hook me up with your friend, your roommate, Zooey Deschanel.
So good. So good. And she does. She basically convinces Zoe. Zoe's like, I don't want to do this, but okay. And they go on the date together. And of course, their side story, incredible. They hit it off because basically, instead of going on a date, they try and kill the mockingbird that is outside her window.
She's trying to kill. He's trying to scare away the
just
mockingbird.
2 pumps in the BB gun.
Yeah.
But she, of course, pumps it so many more times than that, so it actually almost kills the bird. And then they feel
that is
horrible.
A funny scene.
So good. them together on fire.
Mm-hmm.
So they go and try and scoop up the bird. They try and save it. He performs CPR. They save the mockingbird.
Yeah.
And then, of course, immediately
and
start
then have sex
making out.
immediately.
Yeah. Love it. So good. So
right after he's finished kissing the bird.
Yeah.
But what does that mean? What does that mean? We look deeper. What does that mean? They kill. They try to kill the bird, and then they start making out.
A mockingbird.
Yeah.
They resuscitate it, and then.
No, they didn't make out first. They first tried to kill the bird.
No,
they did.
They do.
Please.
You're right.
Yeah. And there's, I mean, do I have to bring up the fact that there's the whole animal motif throughout the movie? I put a note about that.
I know.
I got pissed because they addressed it in the movie, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not smart at all.
No, I brought that up, but I brought it up as a dislike, actually, because I was like, this is too much about animals, and it's so stupid of, like, the animals keep attacking Matthew McConaughey, and I'm just like, give me a break. Like, it's just so, it felt so stupid compared to the rest of the movie. They could have, I felt like, taken it in a different direction, or like you said, like, a little smarter or something. Like, I thought that was almost, like, too stupid for the movie and the caliber of actors in it. Was that crazy of me?
No. It's a little cheesy.
Yeah, a little cheesy, but it's very divisive because Bartha is old German origins. And,
we're back to his last name.
Okay.
But then all of a sudden, Bartha was first found in Forez, a former province of France, and people are saying it's common in Hungary. So at the end of the day, we're all here together on this earth, and it doesn't really matter.
We're mixing pot people.
It doesn't matter where you come from. We can all enjoy rom-coms and listen to the trope report.
Totally agree. Couldn't agree more. I mean, that's the perfect ad right there.
Yeah.
The perfect ad.
Also, what do you call your listeners? Do you have a name?
Oh,
Is it
I don't know.
Tropists?
The Tropies?
Tropers?
Tropist sounds illegal.
Tropers? I mean, there's not a lot of good names, really.
Yeah. Trope? No.
Probably shouldn't even have a name, to be honest.
The Reporters?
Oh my
God. It was going to be The Romantics.
Oh, The Romantics could be.
That's a band.
Is it?
Yeah.
We gotta. Okay. You know what, people, listeners, send in what you think it should be, because we don't know. We have no clue. What do you want to be called?
Mail it in.
No, email. I mean,
send a letter.
Yes, send a carrier pigeon.
Send us by boat.
Okay. So. Hold on.
How do you keep losing it?
Okay. So, next, we kind of dig a little deeper here, people, because now we're finding out about these characters.
Get your shovels.
We're finding out more about these characters. So we find out that Sarah Jessica had a previous boyfriend that she couldn't get to settle down or something, or couldn't. That's how she started her business. Is that Zoe said she had some sort of, uncommittal boyfriend. And then we find out, even heavy hitter, that Matthew McConaughey's ex-fiance, not old fiance?
Yeah.
I don't know. She dead.
Yeah.
She dead. Which is why he's reverting back to being like a little kid, and why his parents are babying him, because they feel so bad.
And why he is that kid.
Yeah, and why he's friends with that little boy.
Yeah, why he just hangs out with a child.
Yeah, it's her son though, which is just so adorable.
So sweet.
And then you just kind of feel bad, because the whole time I'm just like, this guy is like, you love him, but also I'm like, low life that like can't get anything, together. But then you find out why. Makes you love him even more.
Yeah.
So I think that's why his friends have his back, and why Bradley basically tells everyone everything, okay? Bradley Cooper is the glue in this. He tells Paula about Amy at the baseball game, and now she feels even more bad for him and loves him even more because he went through this trauma. And then she's like, I don't know if I should be, trying to do this whole thing, date him and all that stuff. and trick him. Now she feels bad, but then Bradley also tells Trip, Matthew McConaughey, what Amy's doing. So he let everything spill. So now Matthew McConaughey's really like, okay, I'm gonna pull a prank on these people. Not prank, but like, I'm livid with these people, and I'm gonna set up a group dinner. So what he does is has Paula and the parents over, and he announces, basically he makes it seem like he's moving out.
Is he cooking? Not. Yeah.
He's cooking.
It smells good. Mm-hmm.
He's cooking, which is like unheard of. And then he has this whole dinner for them. They all sit around the table, and he basically makes it seem like he's gonna move out, but
he asked Paula to live with him.
Yes, yeah.
As if he's gonna move in with her, or they're gonna get their own place.
Mm-hmm. But then he gets into the fact like, oh, I'm gonna get a builder in here, and we're gonna like tear down the house so we can all live here together. Yeah. So, obviously that's for shock value. He basically tells them, I know what you're doing. I know that you freaking paid Paula all this money to do this or whatever. So basically this is when shit hits the fan in the movie. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to lie to you, this was a little dark, some of these bits. I mean, this really was like, basically everyone's fighting. Trip is fighting with his parents. Mm-hmm. Trip is fighting with Paula. Paula's fighting with Trip. Paula is, because she's fighting with Trip, she's also fighting with Zoe. Which, like, I don't know.
But hold on.
She's just taking it. Yeah.
It's raining. It's tense.
True.
He drops the "get the fuck out of my car."
True.
Holy shit! This is what I'm saying. What's going on?
It gets dark.
What do we do now? Go to the boat. We go to the boat. We sleep at the boat tonight. That's what we do.
Oh yes.
We sleep at the boat.
I remember the first time that we watched this movie, you even made a comment of that scene. Like, wow, that scene. And I agree. Like, it's an emotional time in the movie. I think it was still raining. He's with the little boy.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah,
when he's
just
with the boy. Yeah.
At the boat, yeah. And just, he's basically venting it out with his, semi-best friend, this little boy. And the little boy gives him advice.
Yeah, he basically says, sack up, buddy.
Yeah. So cute. But yeah, so basically everyone's fighting. I felt like it really took a dive. The rest of the movie was so fun and so funny. So they really did they did a twist here, I'm not gonna lie. And I do want to actually say a quote that I thought was that cut deep, this quote. When Zoe and Paula are arguing, they're in their little battle. And Paula says to Zoe, just because you convinced a guy to sleep with you more than once doesn't make you an expert on relationships. Now, that I thought was so rude. I felt so bad for Zoe. She did nothing wrong.
Did she even apologize?
I agree. That one hurt.
I don't even think she apologized. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you people. My least favorite character now you know I love Sex and the City. My least favorite character in this was Sarah Jessica. I have to admit, like, I thought everyone else really brought it and they were so funny. And I felt like, I don't know, I was iffy with, not even just saying Sarah Jessica, but the character of Paula. I was never, like, fully on board with her. I felt like, I don't know, she comes in, yes, she's cool, calm, collected, but then it's like, she does flip out like this, and she doesn't apologize to Zoe. I felt like they weren't very, like, she wasn't very supportive of Zoe at all throughout the entire movie. She makes Zoe go on this date. I mean, it ended up being fantastic, the date, and they love each other, Zoe and Justin, but, like, I felt like she, I don't know,
like
you could see with the guy,
over Zoe.
Yes,
bit of a narcissist, isn't it?
Yes, you could see with the guys that they were like true friends and backing each other and there for each other, which I really liked. But I don't know, there was something, I don't know.
And Zoe was trying to give her like genuine advice. Like, you clearly like this guy.
Yes.
And you need to move on from the last guy and trust him.
So, I don't know, I was iffy with that.
But I did think it was kind of cool how she like knew about boats.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
She just kind of knows about them.
Yeah, she's like, it's jibbing. Facts. It's jibbing right now.
Okay.
She's like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, on the surface was like suave and like knew everything, but like one surface below that, I'm just like, I don't think I like you that much. Anyway.
And like, her job is kind of fucked up. Like, her job is just like making, I mean, these men are probably heartbroken after she gets like, they move out of their safe space and they get broken up with by like probably the only girlfriend they've ever had.
And they're just alone.
Why? Yeah. Why did I not think of that?
Alone.
Yeah, they're probably the lowest point of their
repercussions. Yes, I didn't even think about that. She's heartless. Okay. I don't like her.
Yeah.
Anyway, so after all their meltdowns and all this, basically they decide the mom gathers everyone again. Well, wait a minute. One scene that I also remember, Bri, that we talked about beforehand when we watched this previously, is that when obviously the fight between Matthew McConaughey and his parents doesn't last long. Obviously, he loves his parents, so he comes back. That's when we see Old Man Butt, which really wasn't that bad.
Still anyway, keeping it together, tight, you know.
He's keeping it tight.
Yeah.
I thought he kept it tight.
He was a professional athlete.
Yeah, true. So Trip goes down and sees his mom, and in that scene that was so heartfelt, I think I got a little teary-eyed when she basically explained to him, like, listen, after everything that happened to Amy, we just always wanted to be there for you and protect you and all this, but we really, like, we didn't know when was enough time to, like, push you out of the nest, and so, I don't know, we just thought, like, hiring her would be the best thing, or something along these lines. And she also admits, you know, she was like, I also wanted you to stay because I kind of didn't want you to leave and I would be left with your father after all these years. Like, I was scared, is he gonna like me anymore? Which I was like, another, yeah, like, she admitted that. That's so, what a nice little other side story. Just nice little sprinkles throughout the movie.
Different perspective.
Exactly. So, basically the mom says, we need to gather everyone. They gather all the friends. We need to figure out a way to bring these two together because they clearly care about each other and we know how to do it. So they do it in the most insane way. They basically capture Matthew McConaughey, bring him to Justin's house, which we then find out Justin's super wealthy and owns his own house. Bonus. This guy can do no wrong. So they trap Matthew McConaughey in the closet and then duct tape him to a chair, lure Paula there, and basically lock them in the house together so they can basically sort out their issues. The whole time, which I loved this about it, they're live streaming it in a cafe.
Yeah.
Everyone in the cafe is
everyone's watching.
Yes.
Trope alert.
Everyone's invested.
Trope alert. Trope alert.
Trope alert.
We got the whole town backing up this relationship. That's what's going on right now. We got the whole village is like, yeah, just kiss him. Just kiss him.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, once they, like,
before that, you just said trope alert, trope alert, trope alert. If the audience doesn't know, Brian created our little intro outro song. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Brian, I think you gotta create our little. We gotta have some buttons to push where we could have a little trope report ring. Yeah, I think you need to create that next.
Like a lung alarm or something.
We'll just cut him saying trope report.
Yeah, you can just do that. Do I get any royalties?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Okay, go, Ash. What
-$5.
That's pretty
if anyone's
good.
Listening out there, if anyone's listening.
But yeah, that's ridiculous. So they, like, talk it out, they make up. People are kissing, like, war is over. They just got news from the front lines. Like,
that's what I was gonna say. This whole thing was a little almost too dramatic for me, and I'm a very dramatic person.
Yeah.
Because another quote that I did record, does she say this or does he say this? Either way, they say this to each other. Do you want to spend the rest of your life having fun or do you want to spend it with me? I was like, you guys have gone on 5 dates. And she's basically saying, do you want to spend the rest of your life with me?
I would hope spending the rest of their lives together would be fun.
Yeah. Do you want to spend the rest of your life having fun? Yes, so true.
It was all a little anticlimactic for me. It's like
I
they're
agree.
having a conversation. There's no grand gesture from either of them.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. They're grand gestures from the friends. Like, I love that aspect of it. The friends setting this up and the friends live streaming it and everyone getting involved. Like you said, the community is involved. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they themselves, I was just like, like I wanted more from that.
Bit of a slowdown there.
I agree. That was basically it, guys, right? I mean, that basically wraps it up there. Happily ever after, they're together.
Don't forget this. They're on the boat at the end. Not only does the dolphin, like, fly up, like, carry him around the water.
Yeah, what was that?
But she goes, hey, still need this? Life preserver in her hand. AKA safety net, AKA living with parents. That's what it represents if you didn't put that together. And he said, nah, I'm all good.
Yeah, that was crazy. They laid it on a little strong.
Motif City.
It was
he still needed to be pulled in. He fell off a boat.
It was too much.
Look, if you're listening to this right now, don't watch this movie if you're not a literary freak or, a real motif seeker, because you're going to be lost watching this film. You're not going to really get it.
It's really deep. It's really nuanced.
Oh, God, that's funny. All right, I think we talked about this long enough. It's just so good. Let's move on to...
We have talked about this a long time.
We have, but it's so good. Okay, Always Be My Maybe.
Okay.
I don't have notes on this, so...
Oh,
very
crap.
What? You don't have notes on this?
Well, I was told I didn't have to write notes. So it's already...
I said, listen, I just want raw... whatever comes out of his
mouth.
You're
about to get it. I mean, that was all raw before, too. But...
Ash, give us a synopsis.
Okay. We have Marcus, played by Randall Park, and Sasha, played by Ali Wong. They grow up door to each other. They're best friends throughout their adolescence. Sasha's parents aren't around much, so Marcus' family takes her in and treats her as one of their own. When they're teenagers, Marcus' mother dies in an accident, leading to them sleeping together, which promptly ends their relationship because they get into an argument. 16 years later, their paths cross again. Can they rebuild their relationship? That's the movie.
What? Did I watch the right movie?
Oh, no.
What movie is that?
What did you watch?
What
Did it star Randall Park and Ali Wong?
Always Be My Maybe?
Hold on, what?
Oh.
What the hell are you talking about here?
Brian, what happened in the movie you watched?
Wait, was your movie in...
Oh, no.
Hold on, let me see this here.
It was on Netflix.
Oh, I don't have access anymore because they updated their terms.
We're stealing from our aunt.
Yeah, I get my...
Oh my god, I didn't watch the right movie.
Are you for real?
I watched a different movie.
What did you watch?
I thought it was... maybe it's the same... There's no way it's the same name. How is that possible?
I don't understand how you didn't watch the right one. What other one is Always Be My Maybe?
Is there another Always Be My Maybe?
I don't know.
Right, what happened in yours?
I don't... It was like in the Philippines.
Did you watch...
What?
Oh my god.
What?
This is insane. I'm so sorry.
Wait, a foreign film?
I guess,
Wait, can you please send us a photo of what you watched?
I gotta find it. The whole thing was in, like, Tagalog. Like...
What?
Oh, man.
Why would we have you make...
Wait, Bri, because I actually think you would love Always Be My Maybe.
Damn.
Yeah, I really thought he was gonna
Stop recording. I think we need him to watch it and come back.
I'm back. Cargo Shorts are back, and we are back with another Always Be My Maybe to discuss.
We are back. Brian has watched the correct movie last night, and we are now recording again the next day. We are talking about Always Be My Maybe, which well, we don't have to remind anyone. They'll know. They're listening to the single episode. It's going up against Failure to Launch.
Yeah. So let's just jump right into it. Who has some likes for us?
I have a lot of likes for this movie. I really, really like this.
Yeah.
I think I said this last night, that I watched this the first time that came out. I think it was 2017. And I watched it again. I was like, why have I not been continually throwing this into my loop of movies to watch? Because it is so... it's so well-rounded.
Mm-hmm. This was my first time watching it. It was hilarious. I wasn't... Like, I do like Ali Wong. Like, I've seen all her stand-up specials, but I wasn't expecting Randall Park to bring it like he did.
Mm-hmm. He was so good.
He was so funny.
I love the opening of this. Them as kids is so cute. I love that you get to take a look at that part of their life that usually doesn't happen, I feel like, in a rom-com. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying with Full Circle. They show you, like, their entire life.
I love the, like, boy-girl next door. They grow up next to each other. We get a montage.
Trope alert.
We got a trope. We got a motherfucking trope.
So
I loved it.
It's so cute.
I loved it. Well, his parents are adorable, and how they take her in is just so sweet. So I loved the beginning of that. And then also the music throughout this.
Yeah.
Great
music.
Oh, yeah. We got Alice in Chains. We got 93 Till Infinity. We got some good quality stuff right there. And honestly, he's... Yes, but he's also in a band. And honestly, I
knew you would enjoy it.
The stuff he was performing.
This, I was like, this is right up Brian's alley. He's going to love
I described them as, like...
What was one of his songs?
I bounce back like a basketball.
Bounce back.
Like every ball but a football.
Tennis ball. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. I just loved every second of it.
Okay, so after the initial montage of them growing up together, they're teenagers. Marcus's mom dies. They're grieving together. They start making out in his car. They sleep together.
Oh my god, I was laughing out loud. I was laughing out loud for a lot of this movie.
Yeah.
It was so awkward. It was so cringe, but they did it in a way that I wasn't cringe like in how some movies are cringe.
It was
like
it
the
was
kissing
like
booth.
sincere. It felt sincere, but it was
so
funny
sincere.
because of how awkward it was.
Yeah.
It was real as hell, is what you're trying to say.
Loved it.
Then they what did they get to the store for? Are they getting like Plan B or something?
Well, they go to get food, I think, right?
Oh,
right afterwards, because
okay,
they're like they just do it, and they're like, we don't know what else to do. They're just staring at each other like, let's just go get food, and that's when they have their fight.
He tries to put his arm around her, and she's like, you don't have to do that.
And then they get into it because she's like grieving too, right? And he's like is saying she wasn't your mom.
Well, they both lost her. Yeah. But obviously,
but
yeah,
they get into like an argument right after, and that's when they stop becoming. Like, that's when they stop their friendship, right?
Yeah, they stop talking.
Yeah.
And how many years go by? Like 10
16
plus years go by? Ugh.
So 16 years later, she's a professional chef, like a celebrity chef. He's working HVAC and still has his band. And she comes back to San Francisco to open a restaurant, right?
Which, can I just say, a side character, the dad... It's like the dad and the little boy in Failure to Launch. They were like top tier side characters. Adorable. You love them. They are like sneaking in wisdom, but they don't come across as like a super wise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just, I love them.
And you know he needed that like good connection with him because the mom's gone. And you were wondering what was going to happen. He's like, I'm just dancing in the mirror and smoking weed. And you're like, how's he going to react? And he's like, he goes right into it, and they have a little dance off.
Yeah, really sweet character.
So good.
So she, like, just happens to hire Marcus and his dad's HVAC company to install her AC.
Well, another good side character.
Oh, yeah.
What's her name? So funny.
The best friend, right?
The best
She's
friend.
Pregnant.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name.
So she basically sets it up. She hires them because she knows, because they were all friends when they were younger.
Yeah. She hires them. They start to reconnect. They start hanging out again casually, but she's engaged to Brandon Choi.
Yes. Which, so cute, but he's such an asshole in this.
Yeah. He asks to be, like, in an open relationship, basically, right before their wedding, while he's on a trip, because he thinks it'll, like, prove the relationship. But he's just, like, posting photos with... Wasn't it with the celebrity?
She's like a Top Chef or something, right? I forget. They say her name. I already forget it.
Padma,
right?
Yeah. She's like a model.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So she breaks things off with the fiance, and she starts...
Well, hilariously, at the kid's birthday party, and she's screaming in the house... breaking up with him, and then everyone hears. But of course, then Randall Park hears.
So now that she's single, Marcus decides, like, he talks to his dad and decides that he's gonna tell Sasha, like, what he feels. But she had just gone to a party and met this great guy, and she starts bragging about this great guy she met. Randall Park, and so he's like, he's gotta call it off. And all this time, Marcus also has a girlfriend, Jenny. Can we talk?
True.
Yeah, don't forget about Jenny.
She's entertaining for sure. I actually really liked her character.
Yeah.
She's just so insane.
She's like a super hippie.
Wait. We didn't touch on when she goes and sees his show and is so supportive of him at the beginning. That's when she meets Jenny, and then Jenny cooks them dinner, which is like, what, hot dogs and like SpaghettiOs or something disgusting, trying to impress her because she's a professional chef. And then they go out and he's like, I'll drive you home. And he still has that old car. You know he's keeping it for sentimental reasons because it was with her.
They fucked in the back. Yeah.
It was just so... it was so sweet. Drives her home, and then, I think that's when they're beginning to rekindle.
But so he decides, like, they're gonna go on a double date, her and this new guy she met, him and so Jenny. Good. They're at this fancy restaurant. She's like, that's the new guy, and it's Keanu Reeves.
The best, like, intro in a movie is him. The music. What was the music, Brian? You know the music. What was it? I forget already. It's like... When Keanu's
first being introduced? Oh, I don't remember.
It's like... Wait... Sail.
Oh,
that comes on. Keanu's walking in, wind blowing in his face. He's shaking everyone's hands in the restaurant. It's this absurd restaurant. It's so over the top. They're eating just that whole thing too was so funny. Yeah. They're eating like bubbles. Well, and like
that was incredible.
It's a super fancy restaurant. Randall Park is wearing like his prom tux, like a burgundy prom tux. And everyone else is dressed casual because they're like, that's just what rich people do. Like, they just dress.
Rich people are now dressing as if they're homeless. And he thinks that it's still like he has to wear a suit to this fancy place. So good.
I felt like Keanu Reeves was playing like a Nicolas Cage version of himself. He's insane the entire time. Yeah, he's insane the entire time.
Like an outraged version of a celebrity, for sure. But he did it so well.
Douchier Nick Cage. Let's not disrespect the man.
Yeah, it was so good. And just the whole, they're wearing headphones. They're listening to the deer that they're now eating that they killed on the plate. It was so good.
I mean, how do you can't compete with Keanu Reeves.
No. Iconic. I mean, does that blow everyone else out of the water in the other we'll discuss after when we're rating.
I mean, it was like, also such a long cameo that I was like, how did they get him for such a large portion of this movie? Because the date doesn't end with dinner. Like, Jenny's obsessed with him. They decide to take it back to Ali Wong's place, right?
No, it's Keanu's
place.
It's Keanu's.
Yeah, they decide to take it back to his place. They start playing.
They play some freaky game, right? That they played on Speed, that like the set of Speed, I think. And it's like you pull something out of a hat and it tells you to do something, but they're absurd, right? Like, one of them is like, who would you kill?
Who would you want to kill? Keanu doesn't, like, before they even finish saying it, he's like, he points at him, Marcus.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Marcus is hardcore beefing with Keanu Reeves.
But then also, Marcus's girlfriend says, I would kill Marcus too, because he's not contributing to society. It's...
That honestly, like,
Jenny's
really hurt.
Yes.
I was like, damn.
Do I blame her? I don't know. Because clearly her relationship.
But that was cold.
Relationship with Marcus
but yeah, that was. But that's why I don't know. That was brutal. Her comment totally cuts deep. But at the same time, the way she delivers it, I'm like, I love this girl. She's hilarious. But that was.
She has one thing in mind, and it's Keanu. And I can't blame her for that. If you have the opportunity, you gotta shoot your shot with Keanu. You gotta shoot your shot.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But Keanu's like, punch me in the face, Marcus. Well, you're so mad at me. Punch me in the face.
First, they ask Allie, like, who was your first crush? And she says, it was always Marcus. Like, she always had a crush on Marcus.
Oh.
And that's when, like,
adorable.
The beef really starts, like, heating up. And Keanu's like...
Well, then Keanu steamrolls that moment. He's like, you guys are slowing down the pace of this game.
Because they start having a heart-to-heart.
Yeah.
And that's when he punches Keanu Reeves in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Fight
they have to leave. Well, no, then he starts choking Marcus.
Keanu was winning this fight. And Sasha's like, you gotta leave.
So they leave. They leave, and then Jenny's
Keanu
like, I'm staying.
Oh, right. They leave. Keanu and Jenny stay.
Yeah.
We all know what happens.
So that's when they go back. And
they sleep together.
One thing leads to the next.
They hook up in an Uber pool.
Yes, that was a funny reveal. That was a funny reveal. They're having this deep heart-to-heart in the back of the car. They start making out, and it, like, pans back to show someone else in the front seat.
It's an Uber pool, which, again, was such a good comment when after they sleep together, they're like, Keanu orders that Uber, and he knew he ordered the Uber pool. Like, he did that out of spite. So good.
But let's not gloss over they're both there in bed. Mm-hmm. The deed is done. They're just straight facing it, and then
they start laughing.
Laughter breaks through the silence. Yes, what a moment was that?
That was so. What a good. What is it called? Like, what a good moment compared to when they first did it. When they basically look at each other.
Transformation?
No. I don't know.
Transpitter?
I don't know what I'm looking for. But it was just the perfect moment.
Yeah.
And so then they start
dating.
Getting serious now.
He's like taking her to their old
montage.
Haunts. Yeah.
Love a montage.
He takes her to a restaurant that they used to go to when they were like young, and she's like, I remember this place being so shitty, and he's like, you let like your memory of your parents like mar your memories of the city.
You painted your past with a shit brush, he said. If I do recall.
Such a good line. Yeah, and she's just like reconnecting to her roots, reevaluating her childhood. It's a good relationship.
I love it, yeah.
And then Sasha tells him that she's moving to New York. Like, she's originally said she's just going to New York to open this restaurant, but she's like, I'm gonna stay there, and I want you to come with me.
Well, she does say that a little, like, nonchalantly. Yeah. I don't know. I see both people's perspectives. I see, both views. Like, she does say it a little nonchalant, though, for me, where it's like, okay, I would need a little bit more planning to just move to New York. I know that she's supporting him, but also... But
that's what he needed. She did her growing. Now he needed to do his. She reconnected with her past. He needed to branch out.
True.
That was the kick.
Yeah, that is a good point. It is a good point. I guess for me, it would throw me off. But
it definitely was, a bit abrupt.
He was still living the same life he was 16 years ago, which was like helping his dad with his business and playing in the same band, playing the same venues. He doesn't even want to go across town at this point.
True.
Yeah. And so he refuses and they break up. Like, he's like, I'm not going to New York with you.
Ugh, that was horrible. Mm-hmm. And they basically they both spiral a little bit.
Yeah.
She heads off to New York, right? And he's staying. And he's just back to the same old, oh my god, the worst scene. When he finally branches out to, like, go to that new venue for the audition, and he's so drunk and pees on the stage.
Yeah, that's bad.
That was so bad. It was his lowest moment for sure.
He could be arrested for that.
But I think after that he starts to turn it around.
Well, he starts to take her advice. Like, he starts posting their merch on their website. They start getting more like revenue in, and then her best friend comes back into play because she tells him like, Sasha's been buying your merch, right?
he discovers, he goes to the restaurant because he's calling her the whole time, being like, I know I effed up.
Yeah.
And he goes to her restaurant. He goes upstairs to check her office. And
excuse me, ma'am. There's a very middle class man coming up to you right now.
Yes. So he goes up there and he sees that she bought all the merch. That was so sweet.
Yeah.
And I kind of liked, I don't know, I felt like, I don't want to do too deep dive, but I felt like in a lot of these romantic comedies, usually the guy is pulling that type of shit, but she orchestrated all of this. Do you know what I mean?
I mean,
she was the powerhouse.
Anti-trope.
Anti-trope. She just wanted to see him succeed.
She wasn't looking for glorification.
She was stepping in and kind of saving him. They save each other for sure, but like she was really pulling those heavy strings. To be honest with you, I really appreciated that.
Yeah. And it showed that she still cared about him. So he decides to do like the grand gesture. He goes to buy a suit. He tells them Keanu Reeves.
Oh my! I loved that scene. He goes into Tom Ford, where everything's expensive, and he's like, "I want that suit." Tries what? Does he even try it on? He just looks at the tag, and it's like,
it on. He has it
no, he
on.
tries it on. Give me the fucking champagne. Of course I want champagne.
And then he tries on, he looks at the price tag, spits out the champagne, and says, "Get it the fuck off me," or something like that. And then
he goes to like buy one get three or something and buys it instead.
And then he flies to New York, surprises her at an event. She brings her parents. She also has a moment of growth where she like invites her parents to these events now.
Yes.
Forgives them for kind of leaving her on her own a lot when she was younger. And he gives a little speech from the paparazzi
in front
line.
of all the photographers.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was something like missing having sex, right? It was something
No, it was beautiful, but he did mention that.
I do remember being just like, oh my god, this is so swoon. This is so cute but funny too.
Yeah.
And I just loved it.
Yeah.
And I remember liking her little clutch that she had as well. Side note, I thought it was cute. And then they make out. The parents are there, and then they walk in, right? And is that the end of it?
No. Oh my god.
Tara?
Oh, Tara.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Takes him to her new restaurant.
How could I forget? This was the best part
It's
of the
so
movie.
beautiful. She's capitalizing on his dead mom.
Whoa. Okay,
It's
hold
so
on.
beautiful.
She takes him back and is like, "You want to try this recipe?" And he goes, "It tastes just like my mom's." And she flips over the menu and it's called like Jenny's Place. It's named after
I literally
his mom.
sobbed in this.
All of the recipes are inspired by his mother.
I sobbed in it, and it's not.
So sweet.
It's not like an upscale, fancy, fusion, crazy place. It's like a homey, down-to-earth place, all for his mom. So freaking adorable.
Yeah.
I was sobbing. I loved it.
Yeah.
What a great way to tie it all up. Wrap
and
it up.
it like means a lot because previously he had like criticized her, and he was like, Asian food doesn't need to be elevated, doesn't need to be like presented in this. It's meant to be served in a bowl, simple, and she really felt that. Got back to her roots.
Yeah, she fucked with that.
Yeah.
So good, guys.
Such a good ending.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I am gonna struggle with rating these.
This is hard.
I'm gonna struggle. I really, really liked both of these.
I think I know.
Really? Wait,
but
we gotta
I don't know.
I
there's a process, right? There's a process.
Yeah, there's a process. We gotta get into the numbers, okay? This is legit, people. This is
I literally have
ranking.
no idea what I'm gonna do. This all comes down to this. We're deciding it right now.
Yes, 100%. All right, so let's start with the category of tropes. Failure to launch first. Failure to launch tropes.
What do I have down for failure to launch? I have.
Did you guys take notes on these little things?
I have
okay,
because
this is hard for me to remember.
We should have told you to do this.
I have a fake relationship, but it's like only fake on one side. So does that count?
Yeah, I said like one person blindsided, kind of like a Parent Trap thing, but like both end up falling in love. Like that's for sure a trope.
Yeah. Like one person's betrayed, then the truth comes out, and then they have to.
No, but it meant something the whole time. At first it was, and then I realized how much I loved you. You were truly beautiful.
Very much like What's the one where he turns the girl pretty?
Oh, She's All That?
She's All That.
Yes, something like that. Yes, that's true. That's true. I also have, like, the best friends falling in love and stuff. Like, that whole little side spiel, that's common. Like, you have some really good
side character.
Throw in some good best friends that are, great, strong side characters.
Freaky sex trope? Is that a trope?
What's a freaky sex?
I don't know.
That's
Zoe.
Turned on by like a dead bird.
Oh, Zoe. That's true. Yeah, that's true. And I also have like. Cute. Yeah, it was forced, so I didn't know if I could say that, but I guess it is.
It would be cute if it was natural.
Cute. Exactly, it would be cuter. They were forced together at the end to make up, like trapped together.
The tropes really weren't that great for this movie. Am I crazy?
I'm not gonna lie. I do have it at a 6. I didn't think that the tropes were like outrageous. Yeah. They weren't like tropes are everywhere. Yeah. I gave it a 6.
There's rain. There's rain. There in the darkest moment there was rain. It's got to count for something.
Yeah, that's classic. That is classic.
Oh, and the animals beating him up is class. Every movie I see these days is like animals attacking people.
There's no way that's a trope, but that was total like over the top. I hated the animal thing.
We won't get back into that. I don't want to make you.
Okay, and then the tropes for Always Be My Maybe. Those were well executed.
Tropes for
friends to lovers, boy girl next door, rekindled relationship. We got a grand gesture. Like, I felt like all those were very well executed.
Yeah, but I also didn't think it was, like, a ton, but I don't know.
I mean, I only have those 4 listed, but I just thought it really fits those 4.
It did, but I also didn't think that either of them were super, super trope heavy. I wouldn't even say in a bad way. I'm just saying for this category, when we're comparing to some of these other trope, I don't know.
But I think Always Be My Maybe should maybe be a little bit higher.
Brian, thoughts?
And tropage, yeah, you could say that. I'd have to agree with that one. Probably Always Be My Maybe would have some more tropes. It's not by much.
And he's our resident trope expert, so.
Yeah, it's not by much.
I've been studying for years.
So maybe like a 6 a 6 and a 7, because they're both definitely not high.
Yeah, I almost was gonna say 6 and a 6.5. I don't know if that's crazy.
I feel like that might be fair. Or maybe
6 and
maybe a 5.5 and a 6. We're really getting crazy here.
That's true. Well, for the other ones, for Wedding Date and such, with the number of tropes in comparison.
Wedding Date had 4 as well.
Okay.
And what did we give that?
I don't know.
Well, for Say Anything, we gave it a 5.5 for tropes.
That's crazy.
So maybe
Brian
How is onto something.
Talk me into that?
Listen, I didn't like it. I'm sorry. So I think Brian might be right. 5.5 for Failure to Launch, 6 for Always Be My Maybe.
Okay.
What can I say?
All right, let's go 5.5 and 6.
Yeah. All right, let's do quality. Quality of movie
Always Be My Maybe.
For Failure to Launch.
What does that mean? What does that even mean?
Quality.
So listen, for quality, all I have written down for Failure to Be My Launch is Sarah Jessica Parker, Matthew McConaughey, Bradley Cooper, Zooey Deschanel, Kathy Bates, Terry Bradshaw, Justin Bartha. I mean, that is a high list of quality actors. Would I say it's an overall quality plot, movie, stuff like that? No, but that is a freaking quality cast for Failure to Launch.
The cast is fantastic.
So that for sure is getting points. Always My Baby has a good quality cast, but I don't know if it's the same caliber as Failure to Launch.
But the quality of the movie is so much better.
The quality of the movie, in my opinion, is higher for Always Be My Maybe.
The acting.
So that's why... Okay, but that's... Yeah. Well, would you say